This is my first time making a video for an art channel, and this is just sort of done lo-fi with my computer mic and open broadcast. I just wanted to talk a little bit about Mermay and the ideas I have for it, and then also some art I'm in the middle of working on, or art I did very recently or most recently. And I guess the intro of what I like doing as well. So, Mermay, if you don't know, is basically similar to Inktober, except it has a specific theme, which is mermaids, and basically every day in May you do some kind of drawing or artwork involving mermaids or a mermaid. It doesn't need to look like a typical mermaid, but it has to involve them in some way. And this isn't my art, of course, this is the official page for it. And I found out about it because some people at work actually told me about it and were interested in taking like 15 minutes a day around lunchtime to just kind of sit together with people at work and try to draw something, which sounded really cool. So there are an official set of, or there is an official set of prompts, like a set like 31 prompts you can do. And this is the normal one, but some people do make their own prompt sets or don't use prompts at all. And I read these over, and I didn't really find anything that like super interested me, or it wasn't really giving me ideas that I got that excited about. So I tried thinking out what I would have a lot of fun doing, and I really like weird creatures and monsters and things like that a lot more. So I thought it'd be really cool if I tried to do like roughly mermaid shaped monsters or like eldritch creatures or aliens that had elements from at least one fully aquatic creature and one creature that's not fully aquatic. And other than that, I could put in elements from whatever else I want on each of them. So I put in a bunch of creatures into a list for both categories and sort of randomized pairs of these. And this is the list I ended up coming up with. And it starts out with a really awesome kind of gnarly combination of an eye and a hammerhead shark, which is really cool. If you don't know what either of those look like, I'll show you real quick. It's a type of lemur. So here you get some fuzzier, kind of cuter looking ones, but then you also see people posting pictures of like nearly hairless ones with bulging eyes and stuff, so there's a lot to play with, especially with hammerheads that have like the eyes on the side of their head. So I just thought that would be kind of really cool start out with. And then I have wild hair octopus. Didn't need to read all of them, I'm just gonna point a few out. Lionfish, I think that's really awesome. Some I went more specific than others, so I do end up with like unusual looking species of dogs like the Commodore. I have some insects in here, some birds, a nice variety of things. And if anyone else wants to do this, go ahead and please show me, because I love seeing weird creatures, and it'll actually make me really happy that someone else is interested in this. And if you notice here, and it wasn't on purpose that they ended up together, I ended up with a bunch of sea slugs, and there's another sea slug up here, but each of those actually looks very different, so I think it's okay. It's still not going to end up being samey. And let me show you what those look like. No, that's, it was Notepad, was it? No. Here we are. So a blue glaucus, and once I show a picture of these, you might have seen it before. These are these really pretty sort of like sea slugs with these those like thin, wispy, kind of like splayed out tendrils. They're awesome, honestly. So the idea of um, a blue glaucous mouse or creature actually probably come out really cute and pretty, honestly, even though, you know, doing kind of an alien-like thing. I think it'll still have that look, but that one would be one of the more delicate ones. And then there's a bat Spanish shawl. And this one looks maybe a little bit more like you'd expect a sea slug to look, but with very pretty colors. No, I don't want... Yeah. It's this super fiery looking slug with like the big purple antennae. So that will honestly be gorgeous, I think. And with a bat, I think that'll work really well with kind of the fringe here. So that can lead to some really cool ideas, I think. And then if you haven't seen a sea bunny, which if you notice is paired to the panther, they are adorable. They're these little white floofy things with like almost moth-like antennas in the shape of bunny ears, and then these little feathery bunny tails. So given that it's a panther in this cross, you could really get sort of like a yin-yang effect going, and that could also be awesome. And then the last sea slug I had in the list is the sea sheep. And this is a really amazing sort of sea slug. Ah! No! There we go. So these almost have a bunch of little leaves on them, and then almost like little cow horns or like a cow face. And the reason they sort of look like this is because when they're babies, they actually eat a bunch of plankton, and then their body steals the plankton's photosynthesis, like synthesizing ability, or the parts of plankton that are able to photosynthesize, and like spreads out throughout them. And then after that, they never need to eat again. They just get to live off the sunlight, and that's so cool. I love seeing like weird adaptations like that in animals. So this will be a really fun one to work with. I can see almost like a mermaid tail with all those little tendrils coming off of it, and that just looking really amazing. And that is combined with a tiger. So those greens with the purple on the end gives a lot of really cool things to work with when you think about that, and then like tiger stripes and such. So that could be really awesome. And the last one here I wanted to mention as well, because I have a couple of different jellyfish, but this one you might not have seen, and I also think that they all look different enough to be interesting. So this is specifically a Mediterranean jellyfish, and the cool thing about a Mediterranean jellyfish is they almost look like an omelet with like a bunch of weird little pods hanging off of them, and it's just so fantastic and different from like the normal jellyfish you think of. And then also on the list somewhere I had a man of war, which is more that standard jellyfish shape. So we still get like a lot of cool variety in creature shapes with this list. I'm just gonna go through a bit more slowly and just read through it once, so if anyone wants to try it, they can see what they're in for. So eye-high hammerhead, wild hair octopus, zebra black sea nettle, and in case you're unfamiliar with black sea nettle, let me show you that. That is also a jellyfish. See, that is your more standard jellyfish, but the ones with the really long kind of like thicker tendrils and then the strands coming off. So you can get some kind of really alien looking things there. Lionfish, that was a great coincidence. Bearded dragon whale shark. Ring-tailed lemur cowfish. Quail barracuda. I like how it's such a creature that's considered to be super peaceful, and then a creature that's considered to be super vicious. That'll be a fun one. Bard eagle, narwhal, Squirrel, stingray, sorry, narwhal, okapi dolphin, that'll be pretty. Tiger and sea sheep we mentioned, centipede and blue tang, black widow spider and triggerfish, chameleon, tetra, that will be pretty. That could be super colorful because tetras are sort of that pet fish you see a lot of people having that have like the neon stripes in them, so that could be really cool. Commodore dog and flounder. Commodores are those dogs that look like mops and have like the curled tendrils coming off of them. Black bear manatee. Parrot clownfish. That also could be bright and really pretty. Tree boa snapperfish. Cockroach pufferfish. So there's for something very alien. Scorpion moon jellyfish. So another jelly, but these ones are those super clear ones with like the 4 almost clover leaves on them. Let me show you what I'm talking about. See, like on the top of they have very small tendrils, and then on the top of their head it looks like a glowing clover, and they give off this sort of like neon blue look, which is why they're called moon jellyfish. They almost look like a Metroid, which is awesome. Poodle frogfish, cardinal moray eel. Those are those, actually not the moray, but somewhere on here I think I have the vampiric eels. I think the morays were not the vampiric ones. The morays are like the yellowish ones, which is cool because then we have, I'm sorry, that's my washing machine. Not washing machine, yeah. Laundry machine. I'm just a little tired. But yeah, we have like a yellow eel and a yellow bird, so we have a very bright yellow resulting creature. Chinchilla basking shark, mouse, blue glaucous sea slug, bat, Spanish shawl sea slug, a panther, which is actually I put specifically jaguar panther, and I put that because panthers are actually a different coloration of one of several large cats, and that could be a jaguar. I think another one it could happen to is a cheetah. There's a few others, and some are darker black than others, so the ones that are lighter you can actually still see like the jaguar, the cheetah spots on them, which is really cool. I think on all of them, if you look closely enough, you can slightly see the pattern still. So I made that distinction. And that's with the sea bunny, Rottweiler catfish, Chihuahua manivore jellyfish. I think that would be really weird and awesome looking. Manivore are those like huge, super deadly jellyfish. Let me show you a picture. There you go. So they have like this blobby bubble shape that's really different from other jellyfish you see, especially with that fringe. But the biggest thing is they have thin stinging tendrils that are almost like a net and like go on for super, super long. So they're really intense. Rhino beluga whale. I think that's a good pairing. Pigeon lamprey eel. That's the vampiric eel. And I think the pigeon with their kind of like staring eyes with a lamprey will be just so cool. Like I totally want to have their beak have the lamprey teeth effect inside it. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, they have, like I said, they're vampiric, and they have these teeth that are in circular layers so that it basically suctions onto you and is hard to remove. And then like little things inside. It's just like, again, a really cool, intense creature. As I said, they bite on and then they like drink the blood of the things they bite. And I'm sorry if you didn't want to see a thing like that. I really like learning about different animals and seeing the different abilities they have and different things they've evolved to do. So this stuff doesn't really bother me, but I'm sorry if that's unnerving to you. But yeah, as I said, just the kind of creepy factor of like a pigeon beak that opens to like circular layers of teeth like that with the pigeon's starry eyes. I think that'll be so intense looking and will come out really cool personally, but I'll see how it comes out. And then of course the blue jay Mediterranean jellyfish. So yeah, if you have any interest in doing that, that'll be so cool, and I'm really excited. And I want to show that I did a test of this idea after I finished making my 31 days of randomly generated pairs. So I went, instead of from my own list, I went to another random generator and fully just had that make one combo for me, like just a random animal generator and a random sea creature generator. And I got orangutan unicorn fish, which is a cool pair. And I drew something, but it didn't come out as well as I wanted. So here we have this. And this was actually playing with some new markers I got. I really like alcohol-based markers, and I found out recently about Ohuhu markers, which is supposed to be markers that are good for beginners testing out how they like alcohol pens, and they're like 50 cents a pen, which is really inexpensive for alcohol pens, but they only come in set packs of colors. So I got those to try them, and I've been playing with them, and a lot of the pictures I'll show you today will be with those. And I've been liking them so far. So I have that, and then this is my test. As I could add elements of whatever else I want. So I was trying to make them kind of look creepy and alien a little bit with like having, so a unicorn fish has a horn kind of like that, and I added that in like a lot of extra places, and I kind of tried making it look like there was like extra faces in various places, of that sort of symmetry of this, and then like that being like an upside down version of it. But I'm not too happy with how it came out, but it's kind of cool. I like the neon throughout, something kind of to start with. So that was my first test, and just hopefully some of the others might come out better, but I think it'll be fun to play with either way. And as I mentioned, I want to talk a little bit about the types of mediums I like working with. I really like markers and alcohol pens. I also really like watercolor, and I have a portable watercolor set with me that I like using a lot. And when I do that, I try different sorts of outlining. So sometimes with just pencil and then going over the watercolor so there isn't really a noticeable outline. Sometimes purely with the watercolor if no outline. Sometimes outlining with black watercolor ink, and sometimes I like doing pen details on top of watercolor. And I think the way those look together is really nice. I also sometimes like doing paper craft with both like washi paper and washi tape, and then like scrapbooking paper as well. And I like doing some like painting of like miniature models sometimes. I like clay, mostly polymer, not as much air dry, but I have some air dry clay I want to play with some more. And I sometimes do online art. I'm not good at it. It's not really one of my favorite things to do, but yeah, those are my main mediums. I sometimes might do stuff with colored pencils or twist up crayons, but less often lately. And when it comes to pencils, I generally use just standard mechanical pencils. And when it comes to pens, I'm actually kind of picky. I really like these sort of Pilot V5 and other sort of Pilot V series, and I prefer the ones with the cap opposed to the ones where it like clicks in and out. But mostly, I just really like ink that flows super smoothly, and those have been the best for me. I have a few others I like that are kind of similar. And yeah. So I think I already mentioned, but yeah, I sometimes also like doing digital art, but I'm not good at it, and it's kind of hard for me. And I've taken a few different approaches to it, but more like traditional. So a few other things I wanted to show, just a couple of the things I've done recently, but I like coming up with themes and like trying to make sets of things, which I often don't finish, but it kind of gets me motivated to think about them. And then I also like sort of taking something and translating it into a different form, and that's kind of a fun and interesting exercise to me. Maybe because I am a programmer and I'm a little more math oriented, so that might be fun. That might be why that's fun to me. I'm not sure. But here I have something I was doing for fun. I was actually taking washi tape and sort of putting it over small pages of watercolor paper. I had like really cute artistic Disney washi tape with like really cute variants of scenes and stuff. And so I did that, and I was basically trying to make postcards and did like simple watercolor pictures on them to go along with the washi tape borders. It kind of varied how well it came out. I'm still kind of working on it. I'm not super happy with them, but I think they're cute. So I have my Lilo one here that says Aloha. I think doing the background didn't work out as well. I think it's much better if I leave it white. You can see the border of Stitch with all the photos of Stitch. And then I have two Sleeping Beauty ones here. It's the same washi tape border that has different, like, very super painterly scenes from Sleeping Beauty. And I did Maleficent for both of them because I just think she's super cool. So I have one of her herself in sort of like a minimalistic watercolor style. And this one here with the dragon, which was based off of one of the actual concept art pieces from Sleeping Beauty. And you should really look at the concept art for Sleeping Beauty if you haven't. It's like one of the most beautiful things Disney has ever done. Just seriously, the art style and art quality for it is awesome. But yeah, that was the inspiration for this specifically. And then I have two of the same border of Big Hero 6. This one of just Baymax blasting off because the scene that ended up on here was this cute scene of all of them in their hero outfits, so I thought that was fitting. And then this one was more like Baymax and Hero being cute together, so I had a picture of Baymax with his pain chart, except I only had to go up to 8. I kind of messed up and also ran out of space, so that's 4 and that's 8. But it still gets the idea across, and it says, hope you're at a 1 soon. I just thought it was cute. Yep. And then some other stuff I did recently. I like Toho, which is a bullet hell game, and I have a bunch of cards with different characters from a Toho card game called Danmaku, and I just kind of want to go through that and draw some of the characters that were included on there for inspiration. And I was trying to use my new markers, and I was trying to see if I could do like a super squished, simplified version that wasn't exactly chibi, but like very minimalistic, and was just kind of playing with that. And this is what I came up with. I don't know. I was mostly playing around. I might continue to. I'll see how I feel about it. And so that's Alice, Chirno, Reimu, and Byakuya. Byakuyan. I'm so sorry. But yeah, my favorite Toho character is Raisin, which hopefully I'll get to her eventually. But the next one I would draw if I continued is Tenchi. And then the last thing I want to show you is a combination of an old thing I did in Spectrum Noir alcohol pens, so not the Yohu ones, and a combination of that and digital. So I was taking the picture. I'm just going to explain it before showing you because it's really weird. I basically had some ideas about like an Eldritch horror style alien magical girl, and I had 4 different characters I made like that, and some I put into their uniforms right away, and some I just sketched out more without the uniform. So I have like a super detailed kind of super Ultra Taurus style alien here that I'm in the middle, that I drew in marker, that I'm in the middle of digitally drawing the magical girl dress on top of. And there we go. And a very strange drawing indeed, but that's kind of what I'm in the middle of working on. I am going to have this sleeve here, probably in pink. I might do something, I had a few ideas, I might do something to kind of make that sleeve look less disconnected. And then I have to do the gold lace on the blue and the red part of the collar. And I wanted like her to have a tiara here because, well, it had to do a little bit with how I imagined her personality. But anyway, just kind of bits of my weirdness, I guess, or my weird art. I actually have a lot of stuff from various times, or a lot of things I could show, but I just thought these few recent pieces were a good thing to start with, and hopefully I'll post more later. I just kind of wanted to make a video so that I would get in the habit of just starting and getting something out there. Hope you like this. Again, if you participate in Mermay, please show me. Have a great night.